I didn't even think about Lost Arts. You guys smash the link, crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. So, a couple of interesting little things here. Full Salvo is your new Lost Art. Hilarious card, by the way. I did get a PSCT errata, which I guess is cool just to dump your whole hand. Why I'm focusing today's market watch on Lost Arts, of all things. I actually recently had a good couple of Lost Arts get wiped out of my inventory. One of them being Monster Reborn, and one of them being the Dark Magician Girl itself. Now, this is not the original art. This is actually the reprint one. Funny enough, these are actually heading on up to like $12 for this. I don't think people are realizing that. That's interesting. And then, of course, the Dark Magician Girl Lost Art, the 2020 version. This is actually one of the ones that got wiped out of my inventory. These are $34 a piece, on up to $35. There was a point where these were much cheaper, honestly. But fairly recently, you see $22 to $34, and another $22. It was interesting to see this. Now, let's go talk about Lost Arts as a whole. So actually, the reprint 2021 version of this actually is the exact same price. So both Dark Magician Girls have synced up. Well, you see the $22 one, but I mean, that doesn't really matter. Exodia's head is coming in at $23. The Harpy Queen is still cruise controlling at $18 on up to, 21. The right leg still $18. The arm at $15. Call the Haunted at $14. And you've also got to keep in mind, Call the Haunted's going to be a hot topic here for the next couple of days, just because, or actually for the next couple of months, because Call the Haunted's getting that, support. So, talking about people wanting the Lost Arts for these, you can also get, love the Asian English common here they have for $5. Yeah, buddy, you're not spending $5 on a common. The other leg actually is about $11 for light play. Super Reju's are still 12s. The original Monster Reborn, this was actually one of the ones that caught me off guard. I actually sold out of these at 20s, which shouldn't be happening because, we're at $10. But, I don't know, man. It's an interesting little takeaway to see that Monster Reborn. And I mean, to be fair, they are the earliest and probably the hardest of the Lost Art cards. Again, I'm sure there are people coming through here and wanting to collect up these original Lost Art cards. It's not a terrible idea to want to collect things like this. Percentrix is still $10. We still see $10 Foolish Burials. Harpy Channelers, these have actually dropped down pretty decently well, actually. You're looking at like $10 on these, so we're not doing too bad on that. Harpy Channeler, $9. The Chocolate Magician Girl, these are still like $8. I'm actually surprised these are doing so well, too. Because, there's no reason for this to be holding at the price point it is, but people do love their Dark Magician Girls, so, I mean, I do guess. Left leg coming in at $4 to $5. Your Harpy Conductor also got some value. Offerings to the Doomed have not technically recovered. There's one for like $3, but you're still paying that $4 shipping. It's not even worth it at that point. Harpy Featheress, still kind of doing well. Legendary Fisherman, I love that the top one here is $20. Nobody's ever going to pay that. Armor Wing, or Armed Wing, these are 6s. Zombiras are still 5s. It's not surprising to me to see Zombira is still like this, because he does have the zombie text here, and he is kind of very unique in that way. I still appreciate that, we had the Spawn knockoff in this game. Your Goddess of the Two Sides, these actually did finally populate at 350s, which is good. Mitsus are still a little bit of value. We're not really doing too crazy with those. Your Exodia Necrosses are still like 350s. We're still doing pretty well on that, too. Honestly, of course, the Vampire Vamp, these are still like $3. It's a little bit curious about that, but most of your Lost Arts, as you can see here, we have some value. What's our worst selling one? Some pretty bad ones back here. Yes, the Double Trap Hole. What a classic art. All right, well, Lost Arts are doing their thing. Mind Castling. You know, for a TCG exclusive that really hasn't done anything, I was kind of intrigued by the price point down here. These are still holding about $4-ish a piece, which might not seem like a lot to you, but I mean, we look at these TCG exclusives, and I think we all have the same initial thought. One of these is going to be broken at some point. We are going to reach a point where we're going to look at these cards, and we're just going to be like, wow, you know, I can't believe that this card exploded up that. And I mean, I'm still maintaining that same thought process here, people, that eventually we are going to see something from back here, and it is going to be crazy. The Flying Pegasus Railroad Stampede, these truly have not recovered after the train support, because I'm looking at these right now. I mean, you can get a Prismatic Secret Rare. Man, that looks... See, this is what we could have had. We could have had things like the Prismatic Secret Rares, but we just didn't. Looks like you're looking at, honestly, like $5-6 per copy of these. We do have the low rarity version for this. We do have the common, and the common's actually pushing after shipping. You're basically at $1 per copy for this. So, you know, we have all of this train stuff coming in the future. I know a lot of people are excited about it. But your case in point here with everything, I don't know what to tell you, man. We're still missing the alt art for this, and I can't imagine that there's not going to be a place that Konami isn't going to try to put this. Because, I mean, we have Rarity 5 coming. The whole big thing with Rarity 5 is I would assume that they would dump in, Railroad Stampede at that point to actually give it some time with the community to get what they want. Junk Synchron. You know, this is kind of scary. You know, we just looked at Quarter Century Stampede yesterday. Bonanza's also doing some little interesting things along the way for your price points here. One of those being the $34, $35 version of this. You can get a German one here, actually, for $30 if you're a fan of the foreign cards, which, I mean, once again, this is fine. If you are wanting to play anything Junk Speeder or, related, I mean, Junk Synchron is one of the staple cards that you kind of need to consider for the strategy. So, I mean, I'm not all that surprised. Oh, hey, Blackwings. Silverwind the Ascended. So, we can't take anything away from Edison. Edison, as much as you might not consider it a real format, it's still sitting over here in the back of the room. It's still doing very fine. It's definitely a challenger within the room, but I mean, like, you're at $10 heading on up to, 12s for these. Let's go to your other versions of this. OG Ultras, $16. That's kind of expensive. The Duelist Pack Rares, I love the fact that the rares from the old tins are $4 or $5. The commons from Legendary 5D's decks, I mean, these are like 30 cents. I mean, this is okay. Legendary 5D's decks did their job. They took expensive card, they made it cheaper. Blackwing Shura the Flame, on the other hand, these are still a little bit of value. These are $3-ish for light play, and then we actually accelerate, looks like back up here to like the $4-ish mark. Yeah, I mean, I haven't even seen a near mint yet for these. Near mints are actually like 4 to 5. Ugh. Well, I guess, man. Sure is an old card. Also, Meteor Black Comet Dragon from Ghosts from the Past. If you actually have these in bulk from Ghosts from the Past, you need to go pull these out, because these are like $7 cards, people. I didn't realize that this thing actually had sustainable value, but it actually does. So that's a little bit of an interesting one. Also, Favorite Contact. This one also kind of piquing my interest. I mean, I didn't realize these were like $6 secret rares. I guess maybe I should have known that they were, but Hero Players, also the OG version of this, is pretty close to the same value as this. Yeah, these are also coming about 4 to 5. So, yeah, a little bit interesting. So, that's all I have for today's market. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I am on ban list alert every day. I've been waiting to see if we're going to get a list before they leave the office, but I don't know, man. We'll see. You guys have a good rest of your day, all right? Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.